Welcome back to Dadvertising, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into today's topic, doing a Q1 wrap-up, unfortunately, my team has faced defeat in Brookvale against the Manly Sea Eagles. What I will admit is first half I thought there was a little bit of a controversial call. I think everyone in the stadium agreed, even the Manly supporters. But at the end of the day, DCE, the Manly Sea Eagles, too good. There's not really much I can say other than, Manly were too good on the day.
I think you can't beat the vibe. Like, we were talking about it on the way in. If you're a home team and you're in your home ground, packed to the rafters with 18,000 people going, Manly, you can't not win.
No.
Like, the vibe was so high when they started doing well
that
there must be something in the air that just, like,
100%
lifts them right up rather than being... We were saying this before, like, the Manly Stadium is a small stadium, 17,000 packed. Then, you know, one half of the stadium, one quarter of it is just a hill, a small grass hill.
Yeah.
When you compare it to being in these big corporate 40,000 person stadiums that are half empty on a Friday night, I think just like the vibe is so high that, and it was Daly's 310th game and everything. It was just
so there was a few things going on.
Yeah.
You
were there?
Yes, and we're obviously both there. We caught up. But yeah, look, and that's what I don't know if this is the fact that Penrith have won a lot, and I'm just honestly, obviously blessed to go to most away games and see Penrith win, to actually have a moment to go, you know what, Penrith are obviously not winning, but and they weren't in it for the most of the second half. But I sort of all right, well, fuck it. Do I want to go home now? It's nah, just hang around. And I honestly really enjoyed, I don't like to admit this, but I actually really enjoyed exactly what you're talking about. If I were a Manly Sea Eagles supporter, being at a suburban ground, shoulder to shoulder on the hill with, with other people. I was with one other Penrith supporter, and then we're just surrounded, obviously, by Manly supporters. But I really did enjoy. I really enjoyed my time, and other than the bloody 2K walk that you need to have to park anywhere in and around Brookvale, no. But it was a good day, and obviously poor result for the Panthers, but glad to see you're smiling, and Penrith will make it up in the finals, I'm sure. I'm
sure they will. It was we were riding high for a few days after that game. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got my
it was
girls,
a good vibe. It was a good vibe as well.
Great vibe. I got my daughters a poster of Daly Cherry Evans, which they have in their room. They're hanging it proudly, and they're learning to say Daly Cherry Evans.
Important keywords that they need to learn.
But man, that was a lot of fun. And actually, I got you a commiserations present, which this is not a tongue-in-cheek thing. This is something a few podcasts back I said I would give you.
Oh,
this is your very own
yay!
Tungsten safety bracelet
there we
match
go.
your branding.
There we go. Awesome. All right. So for reference, for those who did not watch the episode, do you want to just explain what the tungsten does?
In theory, I've got a little bracelet on my wrist because I have become hyper obsessed with sort of being prepared for any situation, that my daughters might fall into. So I've got one thing aside from all the first aid kits and, shock blankets and stuff in the car, is I also have this tungsten bracelet where apparently it can shatter a car window or windscreen if you're in a tough spot. Should
we try it on your car today?
I think we should try it on your car, Alan. Because if we shattered one of your windows, no one would notice.
True. All right. But I love the idea. This is responsible dadding. It is. It really is responsible dadding. So thank you, Alex.
Look at it matches your outfit.
For those who are listening, it's red, so it matches. It actually, you got my brand colours on point. Look at you go.
Love you, mate.
Thank you, Alex. No, really, really appreciate it. And now I can be a responsible dad just like you.
Well, yeah, in this one area. No, you're a very responsible dad. You're a wonderful dad. I was listening to an episode yesterday about the day in the life one, and you saying about taking Oscar surfing, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
just sounds like the best thing ever. So,
oh, dude, yeah. I look forward to you getting that opportunity in that equivalent. And funny enough, he's already for the most part, he'll go through little phases. The week that we spoke of surfing, over the weekend, I actually got to take him to the skate park.
Oh.
So he's now into scootering. So we went to like there's
Slam
a place
Factory.
Slam Factory. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, on my stories, and so he's like I hired a scooter. We've got him one, but we are at the point now where I'm venturing into those days where like I never used to skateboard, but I used to rollerblade. And I had buddies of mine. So we'd go down to the skate
Do you want to cut that bit of podcast out? Do you want to like, sure you want to say that publicly? That you used to rollerblade?
That I used to rollerblade. Well, it is what it is. Down at the skate hell at Penrith, the good old days
Rockstar.
for those. But yeah, like it was really fun because he's only 6, right?
Yeah.
So he's learning his craft and I'm 37 learning and I'm like, he's looking at me like, do you want to try it, Dad? And I'm like, well, fuck, I can't back down. Like I'm trying to get him to push himself. I'm like, all right. So like I'm pushing myself going down these quarter pipes. He's now pushing himself and it's really fun. Like it's literally like, it's so fun. It is one of the best things that we have ever done and I'll probably buy myself a scooter as well now.
Wicked.
Now that we've gone down this path. But it is sick. Like I love spending that time. Exactly right. Like if you can find that balance, because yeah, when he's being a little shit, you obviously question yourself while you've got kids, but those moments really make up for it. And yeah.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah.
I used to love skating. I was a massive skate rat.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So this sort of fits right up your alley.
Yeah, 100%. And funny you said that he was seeing if you wanted to do stuff because I remember now specifically my dad taking me to the skate park when I was like 11 and I was scared to drop in onto a ramp. And so my dad just tried it, in front of me to give me the confidence. And he stacked it. Yeah. But thinking back, that's hilarious. My dad's never been on a skateboard. And he's like, that's not scary. And just stood on a quarter pipe and just dropped into it. And then he gave me the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
Great dad move.
There you go.
Well done you.
Yeah.
Well
No, thank you. No, and so he wanted to buy knee pads. So I got him knee pads and elbow pads. And consciously, the moment that I got him bought them from the skate shop, his confidence immediately rose.
Yeah, right.
Because all the kids, even if you go to an indoor skate park now, like the one in the Central Coast, all of the kids doing huge tricks have all got knee pads on.
Yeah,
and
right.
so they're all helmets, knee pads, because they're trying big tricks. And if they're not landing these tricks, they're just going straight to their knees and just skidding everywhere. And so the moment that he hasn't used them once. Like he hasn't fallen over and needed to use them once. It's a confidence thing. Yeah. But yeah, so the moment I got that for him, and then even we went to, there's local skate parks, smaller versions of quarter pipes and things. He feels like an absolute pro on those things now because he's done some bigger stuff coming back. And so I get the sense that it's going to be a little bit of a trend that he wants to follow now.
Oh man, I'd be so into that.
Yeah.
You can take him to what's Travis Pastrana's group? Their Nitro Circus.
Oh yeah.
Take him to Nitro
Yes,
Circus.
he's going to love that
all that
stuff.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be
Absolutely,
wicked, man. Good skate park at the entrance as well.
Yeah,
you're around there.
Oh yeah,
So,
is there? I
yeah.
haven't been over that way, so we'll have to venture out. So you've been there before?
Oh, we used to take trips there when I was 15.
Really?
Make mum and dad take us to the entrance.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
it's
there you
that
go.
good.
I think so.
Well, I
Maybe.
think
It's 20 years ago.
well, the entrance, there's that's a football field. He plays some of his away teams for rugby league there.
Yeah.
We'll have to check it out. Awesome.
Good stuff. So now we know about the skateboarding updates.
Yes, skateboarding scooter updates. Yes. So
It's Q1. It's what's the date today? It's early April.
So today we are recording on the 10th of April.
Don't let the people know that we bank up some episodes.
I know,
No,
I know, but I think they've worked it out anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So always running the same thing, 4 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So effectively today, what we are talking about is a quarter one review. So January, February, March, for those who don't know what a quarter is we're just doing a quick little review on some points, things that we've learned, things that we've changed, things that we have seen.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick us off, Alex?
Yeah, just a bit nice, and it's good for us to kind of. I wouldn't do this at home. Reflect myself. Do you ever like write that down, sort of thing, like what you did?
Probably not in that way.
No.
Now that you've said it, like I keep it sounds like a very intelligent thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think mentally, like especially as business owners, we always forget to take the time to actually reflect on what we've done.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's like sometimes you get so far along and you get stuck in the weeds or you get stuck in shit, whatever, and you forget to, and then you take a moment to just be grateful. And you're like, oh yeah, this is like I'm actually doing what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff that's not working, but this is actually good.
Yeah.
This is actually exactly what I wanted. So
I think reflecting is healthy. We definitely do a, first week of the quarter plan for what the next 3 months look like. But retrospectively, looking back, I don't think we do it.
Yeah.
So here we go. Business-wise, the year started out rough.
Rough as guts.
Rough as guts. For a few reasons. Like a lot of stuff happened at once, and I mentioned this in one of the videos we filmed last session. Was like we had a system that was working really well, like an ad campaign that was bringing people in, growing the business, like led to our biggest months ever. But it was kind of once we'd had those clients in for a few months, we started to see cracks, and every headache client I had was coming from this one ad campaign because of the way it was framed or something like that. And so, glory to me, I just ditched it. I was like, switch that off. We've got heaps of clients now. But then when your clients start finishing and some of them don't want to continue because they're wrong in the first place and you don't have a stream of clients coming in, well, tricky place to be. I also attributed the headaches and frustrations to the sales team who had brought them on.
Yeah.
Who were just really good salespeople bringing on people who sometimes I thought they shouldn't have brought on. And these were all the people who were making my life stressful. So I also got rid of the sales team. So now I had no sales team, no sales process. Bunch of clients still, but then Christmas time, we all know January sucks. People are on holiday. They pause their invoice while they're going to Fiji or whatever.
Yeah.
And cash flow just hit the freaking floor, went through the floor.
Yeah.
And it was like my worst sort of 6 to 8 weeks I've had since I was like a broke coach. Yeah. Except for now I've got all these staff to pay and like cars to pay off and stuff. Yeah. So it was a tricky time. I worked it out. I got some, extra business financing and stuff and pulled it out. And now, a couple months later, we're good. We're fine again. But it was just there's a lot of lessons there. And like, I tried to change too much at once. And it was all probably coming from an emotional place of these like 3 clients are annoying me so much and causing me so much stress.
Yeah.
What's the common denominator between all of them?
Yeah.
They all came from this salesperson, from this ad campaign.
Okay.
And they all suck. They shouldn't be here. I wouldn't have signed them up myself.
Yeah.
And they don't suck as people, but just like it wasn't a good
fit for your business.
Yeah, it wasn't a good fit. And we were having to just bend over backwards for these people who just weren't paying us any extra and just we all get those clients. And my business was like half full of those people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very fun. So I got a bit impulsive and kind of just changed too much at once. Thought, this is what I'll do next. And as we know, when you launch something new, it doesn't always work straight away. And everything we tried for like a month didn't work. I got a new sales team and they're sitting there like, there's no leads because all the leads we've got are not, they're shit. Yeah. So I was just trying all this stuff. But that was the main big thing was like, I suppose it built quite a lot of resilience to having a bit of a business, a credit card bill hanging over your head and then starting to not care about it so much and just realizing that's just part of it.
Yeah. And
because I used to be stressed about, I would pay my full credit card bill on the day, every month, never had any interest or anything. And then you realize that nothing really changes that much if you have a few grand that you owe to someone because they actually want you to owe that to them anyway.
Yeah.
So they see you as a good customer. So, yeah, man, that was a really interesting start to the year, actually. And it kind of, it built that capacity for stress a little bit more.
Yeah.
I didn't have before. And so, yeah, I'm on the other side of it and feeling good.
So the biggest reflection you would say is just too much changed too quickly.
Yeah, and the reason I let it change was because I allowed my emotions and impulses to make business decisions for me, rather than thinking, okay, this is an annoying situation, but this is where all my money's coming from. Why don't I write it out while I try something new? But I was like, it's Christmas time. I don't want to be getting messages on January 1st from this woman, you know? So, nah, fuck it. Burn it all. And then
and then that's when you had to record. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So it was but the thing is, like, the level we're at, the numbers we're talking about are so minuscule in
the big scheme of things.
In the big scheme of things. A couple months of, like, you know, skinny profit margins or zero profit margins or losing money.
Yeah.
But you can still pay yourself a little bit. You can still afford your house and your car. None of it matters. And it was, you kind of got to go, it's not rock bottom by any sense, but you kind of got to go into these little pits to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's rough. Don't do that again. And then when I was talking to my mate, one of my mates who has got a much bigger business than me, and he was telling me about all the stuff that he'd been going through at the time. He was like, I was paying 60 grand a week to some guy at this point, you know, that I didn't want to be paying. And I was like, okay. That sucks. And you would have never known to talk to him. Yeah. He was the one talking me through my stressful time. And at the time, he's going through way more than me. He's just better at handling it. Yeah. And so I thought that's a really, really good lesson.
Yeah. 100%.
Just, building, it's like going 100%. To the gym, you know?
So just, I am curious to understand, right? So you mentioned not making decisions from an emotional place.
Yeah.
If you came to the same point again, how would you make your decisions?
I would probably follow the advice I would give to clients, which would be test what you know.
Test your theories?
Test your theories. Take 20% of your, or 50% of your energy and budgets and test new things until they work.
I love it.
Whilst writing out whatever you got going.
I love that.
Yeah.
And this is so critical. It not only applies to what you're saying, but it also applies to anyone who you know, they go through this, I'm going to leave my full-time job, burn the boats, everything, right? Yeah. The same principle applies. There's an old analogy that a mentor of mine shared with me, and it is, if you think of your business as an island, right? And your cash flow is effectively a pipeline, right? A pipeline that feeds you, in this example, feeds you food. Like you've got food, you've got water that's coming through this pipeline. You've been able to live. Now, the moment you go and change that pipeline or decide, you know what, fuck that pipeline, I'm gonna try a different pipeline, there's no guarantees that pipeline's even going to feed you and give you what you need. And so I think what you've just shared, it's a really important part to just note that it's not always going to work out the way you think, and it's important to test it and give it the space to test your theories and whatnot as well.
Yeah, I've got a client who she's been doing really, really well since she's been marketing with us. She hired like a sales coach as well, and she's recently quit her full-time job.
Yeah.
Before she did that, she was like really abundant with ad spend and everything. Now she's quit her full-time job because her sales coach kind of said, you should do this now.
Yeah.
And now she's like turning off ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is the exact thing she doesn't need to be doing.
Yes.
Because now she's going to be cutting off that flow as well.
Pipeline, yeah.
So, yeah, it stresses me out when people talk like that. I've quit my job. It's like, that's exciting, but couldn't you have gone down to 3 days instead of, couldn't you have gone down to part-time?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But anyway, each to their own. But that exact thing, her island is, and I've done it in the past. We've both done it.
Yes.
So I always had that mindset of if I need to go and make coffee, I'll make coffee.
Yeah. Well, I want to give you an example of this. This is a really good example. is I obviously run a video marketing agency where we serve clients. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You might have heard of it. It's called Triple Effect.
Yeah.
And so obviously all of that's running. All of that's good. You know, we have happy clients except this guy named Alex. He's a bit of a fuck. No, I'm joking. So no, everything's good in the Triple Effect media world, right? Things could always be better. We could have some more clients, but for the most part, everyone's happy, healthy. You know, our team are doing fantastic. I was venturing into some content and looking to get like Q&A sort of content. So I started asking some questions from friends and people I'm connected with. Some of the people who listen to this podcast. And one of the things that I got feedback on is I was like, can you give me some ideas? Like, what do you want to know about content? And then literally, like, let's say I asked 15 people. There are at least 4 people who gave the exact same answer. And this answer was, where does someone start with their content? Like, what do I say? How much do I post? There is so much information out there that I don't know where to start. And I sort of did the Q&A sort of content that I wanted to do, but then I was thinking, you know, like we spent some time yesterday preparing for not only today, but also what we're doing later with some filming. And it's something that we naturally do for clients ongoing, but for the most part, like there's people who don't know what to say. There's people who don't know where to start and they don't know how to pull that out of themselves. And so I've tested this theory by literally doing a Facebook post and I wrote case study. I'm taking on 5 people I'm taking on 5 people to help them build a strategy, going to actively work with them for the next 4 weeks in a group setting. Let me know. I had 9 people sign up.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I didn't even use my email list. I didn't
they pay you?
Yeah, $500 each.
Great.
Yeah. Like, and so that was like testing a theory and it has told me that I only scratched the surface of it. And there is something that will be coming in the works. But right now, this group, I had my first group call with them yesterday. It was fucking incredible. I loved it.
Great.
I loved it. There are some complications because in our relationship as like Triple Effect and client, you do have the you know, I've got the ability to go and create your content or, you know, get what we need. Whereas you're in a position where you're completely relying on their time, their energy, their creative, you know, whatever, to be able to get the result. Yeah. So that's a part that I'm still coming to terms with and learning and things like that I don't have control over helping them get the result. I can't go and create the content for them in this structure. So, yeah, there's a couple of things I'm still learning, still building like the foundations, but it is definitely something that I'll be looking at moving forward. So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, coaching people to do their own stuff is tricky.
Yeah. But it's not something that I didn't completely shut off Triple Effect because I was like, fuck you guys. I'm gonna go do my own thing. You keep the pipeline running and you go and test your theories elsewhere.
Because then if it's crickets, nothing happens.
Worst case scenario, I hurt my ego.
Yeah.
It's like no one wanted to work. Okay. So, but So that was really cool.
Well done, brother.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right. So shall I share?
Do you want? Yeah, give us one.
Okay.
The biggest thing, let's congratulate Alan Howle. 21 kilos down as of today.
21 kilos. Yes. Thank you.
That's a big win for Q1.
Yes, that is a huge one. So yeah, I have been actively walking 15,000 steps a day, drinking 3 liters of water a day.
Yep.
Eating small portions every 90 minutes. There's a lot of things, like I've had a lot of fuck-ups along the way, but I have learnt so much discipline and feel great, feel amazing. And even the jersey, like the jersey that I was wearing on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. That jersey, it got to a point where I couldn't fit in it. Like it's got the stripes, the white stripes.
Oh, yeah.
And it just stripes. Horizontal stripes with a beer gut. Don't work too well. So it's like my gut's starting to go, and I'm feeling better in my clothes, feeling more energetic. more energetic. And even with talking about the skate park thing, it gives me the more confidence to go, fuck yeah, I can try these tricks.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting around and actually like pushing my body through these things. So it's cool.
I have noticed you're annoyingly energetic these days.
Really?
You used to call me all the time, and now you call me all the time like a Labrador with a secret that you've just found in a stick.
Well, I've just got like heaps more energy in our calls.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't even
You're a real
noticed
pain in the
that.
ass these days, Alan.
Yes, fuck. That is a compliment every day of the week.
Yeah.
That is a compliment every day of the week.
So it's good. It's talking to you now is how my wife feels talking to me. She's like, just give me a moment in the
shut
morning.
the fuck up and leave me the fuck. Alan's calling again. Hang up.
Don't go straight in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, good
Okay.
stuff, man. So that's the big win I want to congratulate you on.
Thank you.
Before we go into how Triple Effect is going.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, thank you. So there's a few things I've written down. The big focus has all been around storytelling, right? One of the things, like, I'm going to admittedly say this, we have had clients come on board and, you know, we create really professional video content and it is amazing and everything else, but it just doesn't reach anyone and it just doesn't help to grow. Like, it's just like, it's a great body of work and it puts him in a professional light, but it's just not doing as well organically as we would like. Yes, you can put paid marketing behind it. And it's the balance of like, how do you extract someone's personality, put it into an effective video campaign, create all these things. And so I did a stack of research, like just over the New Year period, I got really curious as to what is it that like our Alex Hormozis, Gary V's, all of these people who have significant accounts, significant followings, and even educating, what are they doing differently? And in some way, shape, or form, they are storytelling. And storytelling can come in the form of reflecting on an experience, or it can come in the form of actually telling a story, an intriguing story. It can come in the form of sharing a fuck up. It can come in this form of sharing lessons, learnings, all those other things. Storytelling, right? And I was like, okay, so if we focus on stories and we focus on, like, stories are what have people reflect on their own experiences and things like that. And so with that, my copywriter, who is great, he actually left on his own terms. He's going to start a business. So I had to jump in on the copywriting side until I was going to find someone. And I started looking and I was like, you know what? I'm actually really enjoying this, and I'm actually really enjoying getting my hands dirty and looking at this part. And then it helps me to uncover we actually need to be spending way more time in the research phase, in the learning phase. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I've gone into this part and learned as much as I possibly can. And then our film days became better. And then that's when I then needed to make some adjustments and changes to our editing style. Yeah. Because a lot of our editing, great, professional, all those other things, but now I've got the emphasis of we need to be telling a story. And it helps our team members to really get and understand, oh, cool. So they can actually bring their creative genius, they can bring their creative ideas to the table. How did they interpret the story? Yeah. And that has been one of the biggest game changer things that we have seen is everyone tells stories in different ways, shapes and forms, through podcasts, through video content, through YouTube videos, through experiences, through, whatever. But if you can learn to tell effective stories, there is so much opportunity in content in general. Yes. And so that notion allowed me to change our initial onboarding process and emphasize the importance of research at the beginning. It emphasized the importance of what our editing team are doing. And then naturally, us publishing the videos are creating more conversations. It's creating more engaging content. And it's actually, as far as I can see, we are effectively building profiles and channels and things like that as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
The content you've been doing lately is sick.
Yeah.
The storytelling ones you're doing for me are rock and roll.
Yeah.
Except your team doesn't know what a goanna looks like. In my goanna story, they put a photo of like a different lizard.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
but maybe there's not much goanna stock footage out there.
Maybe.
But there you go.
Yeah.
Storytelling is massive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's why this is why so many people are just flocking to content creators over highly produced stuff, because even like, Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, all his episodes, they're 10 minutes long. I survived on a desert island for 7 days, and it's just a story for the whole 7 days. Or, I built a village in Africa, and it's just a really well put together story.
It hooks you in, and then you find out the characters, and then each of the characters have a little story, and then as it goes on, you'd notice he's interviewing different people. He's asking, what are you going to do with the money? Yeah. And they're telling their stories. They're telling what's happening for them. They're showing their strategy of, even I was watching one yesterday, the room with lasers and whatnot, and they've got to jump between and then, the talk, like the banter between all of them. And
what I've noticed massively that he's doing is, and you see a lot of people do this, but they do it very poorly. It's really annoying. Is kind of talk about what's going to happen later in the video. And he'll say, now, as we're walking down this hill, it started to get dark and rain. But while we thought this was bad, it was nothing compared to what's coming up tomorrow. And you're like, oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? And just kind of pre-framing little red herrings that something's going to happen later on in the story.
Yep.
Really, really cool. So, storytelling is going. It's going. And you're inspiring me to tell more stories as well, and I'm seeing it reflect in the marketing copy that I'm doing too.
Even just on this point, like sometimes we don't even realize the stories that we could share or the reflections. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be, in inverted commas, a story or a reflection. And we're literally talking about an example yesterday of a client that you had who's a little bit further along their track, so they can do more advanced marketing, or they then go into this different category, whereas others sort of need to build from this place. And it's even those reflections, people want to know about them. People want to know, what's going on in the background of your world. They want to connect and relate to people like them. You don't have to be them. You don't have to live in the same place or be in the same situation or circumstances, but they want to relate to people who they at least can see themselves getting on with or building some sort of ongoing working relationship. And if you can show that and experience that, allow someone to experience that through your content, you're already halfway there.
We're seeing it with this podcast. You and I both ran interview-based podcasts. We had a different person on every week, and none of them popped off. We got a lot of content from it.
Yeah.
This one, people are forming a relationship with us. And if you're listening, thank you. Positive reviews only, please. No critical feedback. We can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
But we can't handle it. But we're seeing people say like, oh, every episode brings something different.
Yeah.
Or thanks for shining a light on this dodgy aspect of the industry or whatever. And I feel like, we're developing a little relationship with the audience and with each other. It's great.
100%. And the thing that I think the thing I love is I can't wait. Like, even though I'm sitting here, a part of the episode, I can't wait to go back and listen to our episodes.
Yeah.
Because the banter that you and I have, it's something that I think sometimes we might not always appreciate, because it just feels like we're sitting in a room that's padded with all this soundproofing stuff, and we're just like, just talking to each other. Sometimes we'll pull jokes, sometimes we'll hack on each other, whatever.
Sometimes I'll pull jokes.
Oh, you're the funny one, are you? So, but anyway, we're just having a laugh, having a chat, talking business, talking life. And sometimes, we hope it's valuable enough that people are listening, which for the most part, the data says that some people are. And also people are getting something out of it, which is good. So, yeah.
That's great.
That's a good reflection for the Q1 as well.
I think Q1's been an interesting one. I think everyone has a dodgy January.
Yeah.
Except for gyms, really. But like, because in Australia's such a weird country, like just because of the way that we have summer and Christmas and Australia Day, you get literally from like the 19th of December to the 27th of January.
Oh yeah, people just switch off and don't do anything.
No one does anything. If you're relying on clients to be paying your retainers and stuff like that, or be picking up their phones and booking sales calls, it's so tricky. And I think a lot of people get that. And it's just, last year I said I'd plan for it and then didn't, you know? So another lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bolster the bank account before January so you can kind of take some time off.
Yeah.
And we both have holidays coming up as well. So that's a little plus of Q1. If we're both feeling somewhat confident that we can take a week or two off. Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
You're taking 3 weeks off?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Go to the US of A, baby.
Fuck yes.
Disneyland.
Going to Disneyland. So we actually leave on Monday.
Hell yeah, man.
So really
It's so
excited.
soon.
Yes, I know.
Look at you go.
So yeah, just preparing everything, getting everything ready so that we can leave. I don't know that I'll be completely off. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to check my Slack channel every now and then, but I don't mind. It's more so just making sure I can switch off to be present with my kids and I'm not worrying about, what's going on. So for the most part, we've got it all sorted. Anyway.
If you have an hour a day, if it takes you checking into your computer an hour a day, doing a few things to then enjoy 13 hours of the day, Why not? Like what a blessing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
My dad told me a story once about he was sitting on a chairlift, like a ski lift.
Yeah.
And he was sitting next to a guy who was on his phone the entire time on the chairlift, like working. And then when he hung up the phone, the guy next to him said, "Why are you spending your whole time working while you're here?" And he's like, "This is the reason I can be skiing all day, because I can just run a few phone calls, keep my business going, and then do whatever I want." So he's taken the few little breaks on the chairlift.
That is such a good reflection.
So he can continue skiing.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, and that's the way I feel when I'm in Fiji or whatever, it's like, yeah, it's a bit lame, but it's actually not that lame to be sitting on my Fiji balcony doing a couple of calls with my team, so then I can go and spend 5 hours drinking in the pool.
Yeah, 100%.
Looking after my kids and that sort of thing.
100%. That's a really good reflection.
Thanks, man.
Good story.
Oh, thanks for this.
Good story.
I wasn't there.
Is there anything else? I've got one more. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover?
I think, basically, it's early days. I have now I've been made partner in another agency. So so Scott, who we both know, who taught me to do everything that I do, or a lot of it, he's a marketer. He's been teaching marketing for 5 years now. He's starting another agency. He needed help. He's brought me in on it. And so there's three of us, Scott, his partner, Emma, and myself. And we're running this new agency. And it's just a bigger thing than To The Moon Digital. It's for more established clients, bigger fish, more systems, more staff, everything. We're in our second month. I think first month. We're in our first month still. So it's early days, but it's very exciting. And so I think that Q2 wrap up, I'll have a lot more to say about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm at the point of balancing 2 teams, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving my team at To The Moon more responsibility. I'm now knowing which clients are good for one agency and for the other.
Yep.
I've swapped a couple over, back and forth. There's going to be some tricky, messy times, I'm sure. But so I think that this time next quarter, there'll be a lot more reflections on what's happened with business number 2.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. And I'm just really, really happy to have someone to do it with.
Yeah.
Because we get these solopreneur friends who start their second business.
Yeah.
And it's just them. It's
Yeah.
like you're just giving yourself 2 jobs.
Yeah.
But having a second team, partners, that sort of thing, I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's also, I'm really keen to hear how all of that goes.
Mm-hmm.
My last reflection is around getting a financial coach. Now,
yes.
Without divulging too much information, things. Why are you laughing?
Because I know where you're going.
I'm trying to politically put this in a way that I don't have to. Yeah, look, things got a little bit shit, right?
Alan lost a lot of weight because he hasn't eaten in 3 months.
And so I put it this way: I had a I have, in fairness, I've never really been great with numbers. It's something that I've had to really force myself to learn. And the beautiful thing about this situation and circumstance is it allowed Jess, who's my wife, to step in and really take the reins on the finances for our business.
Great.
And it has been so good. So good.
She more numbers minded than you?
100%. She's into Excel spreadsheets. She's into all of that, to the degree where we said thank you, love you and leave you to our bookkeeper.
Yeah.
Doing a great job, but Jess is now taking over the bookkeeping.
Great.
And we're also now in the realm of forecasting and things like that. So I want to give a shout out to our financial coach, Amy, who's based in Melbourne. She has been absolutely incredible. And she has helped us to not only understand exactly what's coming in, but exactly what's going out.
Yeah.
I've racked up a little bit of debt on my Amex, and I've also had a tax bill come in, a few moving pieces with some clients and different things like that. That, if you don't do something about it, it can get it can feel like a pressure cooker, and you can feel like there's no way out. And so, to cut a very long story short, we're working with a financial coach who, it's not just purely because we've got a few things that we need to take care of, but it's also making sure that we're nice and profitable.
Yep.
And so, this is absolutely I just think sometimes you don't realize the way that you're doing business is causing something to happen. And it's until because naturally as entrepreneurs or people in business, I should say, business owners, we both know that I created an offer in a few hours and then, I had $4,500 because 9 people signed up.
Yeah.
Right. And we have this ability to just generate money out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And sell people on a particular thing. And sometimes you get a little bit too reliant on the fact that you can just almost wave a magic wand sometimes and money appears.
Yes.
Without reflecting on where that money is going, how it's being invested. Is it actually building what you actually want? Is it actually taking you where you need it? Is it going in places that it shouldn't? And for the most part, Jess and I don't even live extravagantly. We're just very, very conservative with where we're going. And so again, I know I'm keep saying to cut a very long story short, but effectively by the end of this year we'll be in a much better place.
Great.
As long as we stick to the plan.
A plan is a good idea. A plan's a great idea.
And the most important part is we actually get to go away. This is a bucket list item. We questioned so many bloody times whether we should still be doing it. And it's we need to have some sort of fun and enjoyment. Would we be doing it in the exact same way? Maybe not. But this is a bucket list item that was planned in a time where it seemed like a great idea and, everything else was working.
Yeah.
And so we've made the decision and we've stuck to it and we can't wait. It has been something that I have wanted to do ever since I've been in business. I've wanted to take my kids to Disneyland when they were old enough and I finally get to do it. So yeah, I cannot wait.
Man. You're going to create so many memories.
100%.
Money comes and goes.
Exactly.
You have a vehicle to make money in a way that most people with a job don't.
Yes.
We spoke about this the other week.
Yeah.
That you have a skill that so many people will pay for and do pay for. You can fix all that.
Yeah.
You can't get back having an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old at Disneyland.
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
9
and 6, yes. But yes.
You know,
yes.
That is
They are memories.
If you said we're going to bank it up and wait until we get in a better financial position, who knows? Maybe you get another car, or remortgage the house, or get an expensive dog or something, and then you're not in a good financial position anymore, and you put off this an amazing family memory.
Yeah.
And then your kids are 14 and 11 and don't want to go anymore. Yeah. That sort of thing. It's going to be amazing, man. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you. All right. So is there anything else that you wanted to wrap up?
Nah.
No?
No. I think it's good, man. There's always, in amongst the business lessons, there's family stuff, there's health stuff, all in and out. But the main Q1 theme was a big kind of a dip because of some decisions I've made, and then figuring the way back out of that, And then now it just seems like, nothing could go wrong ever again.
Ever.
Yeah, so that's it.
Just bank on
I've
it.
nailed it. I've mastered it. This is it. So, no, it's good, man. I'm looking forward to Q2, and we'll dig into some other, into the back end of our lives a little more in the next episode.
Beautiful. All right. Well,
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure... Actually, I will note, we never really do a call to action at the end of these, but if you've enjoyed this podcast, we would not only love a review, but share this podcast with a friend or someone that you think, especially someone who's in business, maybe even a dad as well.
Or mums.
Mums, there you go. If there's someone that you think would really enjoy episodes or anything that we've talked about, make sure you give us a share. And also, if you have any suggestions for like episodes, things like that, we always love suggestions.
Hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. We're there.
Yeah. Every single time we someone like I sent you through a screenshot of a message. I asked a buddy of mine, Dan, the cameraman. He keeps listening and he's an absolute legend. He sent through which were his favorite episodes, and that really does help us to understand and choose what we're going to talk about next, because we've got 1,000,001 different things that we can talk about, but we want to give what the people want. We want to give the people what they want, don't we, Alex?
That's it. We are sellouts. Whatever you want, we will do it.
Correct.
Bring on the brand deals.
Yes,
that's
bring
what
on
I
the
say.
brand deals. Absolutely.
We can't get paid unless you listen to us. We got families and holidays planned.
Exactly.
Hit us up. So, thanks so much, guys. That's Q1. We'll see you next episode.
Peace.
Peace.